Good morning, YouTubies. How are you? It's early in the morning, and I'm sitting here drinking my coffee. Um, I'm having some quiet time before it's time for Francis to wake up. Um, I've been posting videos on the little bird, and um, I know this is going to sound weird, but it makes raising that little bird um, makes me feel like I have some use in this world. Going through everything with the pandemic and everything, and like I feel like my family is disintegrated. Um, it feels like it's really hard uh, to wake up every morning, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I have to tell you, there's like some interesting videos out there where people are so cruel to each other. Um, I don't know where that's coming from, but anyway, um, I've just been doing videos on the bird, and when you have a little bird and you like, I got the bird and I raised it, it's just I don't know, I don't it just does something to you. It's like, wow, I did something, you know, or I was able to do something. Um, yeah. So anyway, I just thought I'd talk about that. Um, I know that everybody, like where I live, uh, if you've been vaccinated, you can walk out and not wear a mask. But they do have things like breakthrough cases where if you've been vaccinated, you can still get the virus. Um, like they had Bill Maher, he was vaccinated and then he got the virus. He came down with the virus, um, but he's asymptomatic. But that means he can still, even though he has it, he may have a milder form. That means he can still pass it on to other people who are not vaccinated, or he's around people who maybe got the one, the first shot, and then they had, I think it was the Yankees or some sports team where people who were fully vaccinated, the players, they came down with the virus again. Um, and, and you know, we're not out of the woods yet because we still have that one from India, the variant, and that one is dangerous. And it's appeared in Canada, and they said poor people have died already from it. And then there's a couple of cases in the U.S. I don't know how that's working, or if anyone has died on that one. But um, we're not out of the woods yet, and everybody's celebrating, acting like it's gone. And that's kind of like what happened in India, where their numbers went low. They had all these religious things going on, and then they had the political rallies and stuff, and then they got hit really hard. So, and it actually happened. If you go back in history, it happened um, with the Spanish flu, where they thought they had defeated it, and they had these big parades, and they had these big gatherings, and boom, they got hit again with like a third wave, fourth wave, and it was worse than the first and second. So you have to be careful. Um, so yeah, I'm one of those people who are hesitant to take the vaccine, um, and I'll tell you why. Because I feel like a lot of the people who die from it are women. A lot of them are who've taken the J&J and died, or the AstraZeneca. Those were, to me, from what I've read and seen, most of those were young women, middle-aged women. Um, so I am a little concerned with something like that. Um, and I've never seen such a push for everybody pushing to get it. You need to get it. You need to look out for everybody else. You know, but um, you you know when I don't know how to say this, but you have to be responsible. Like if I do go out, I don't go out often, but if I do go out, I make sure I do wear a mask. I keep my distance. Um, and the other thing too is I already had COVID, so I'm like, why am I going to get vaccinated for something I've already had? You know, um, I had it, and when it first came out, and I was very sick, and then I had it again, but I had a milder case. Um, so, but I still take precautions. It's not like I'm going to run out there and, now they're talking about having people like people who are fully vaccinated and are going to the stores. How do you know who's been vaccinated and who hasn't been? It's what it's leading up to is people having to have a passport. That's what I think is going on. That's that's my opinion. So it doesn't mean anything. I'm just thinking out loud. I have allergies right now, so I really don't go out right now because you sneeze or cough, people freak out. This time of year is really hard for me. Uh, anyway, I'm sitting here and I'm drinking my coffee, and Frances is sitting up in her little bird perch up there. Uh, Many of you have asked questions about Frances. Um, it's a starling. I don't know if it's male or female because you can't sex the animals until they're about 9 months, and you can by their beak, the color of their beak, you can tell. And as they mature, the males are really brilliant, like um, I don't know the color. It's they get these little stars they grow on, and then they're really like, you know, really pretty. You can teach them to talk, and people do raise them. Somebody had asked me what I fed the bird. You can feed the bird dog food or cat food, and the reason why is because it's high in protein. Now, one thing about starlings and people, and I've learned a lot, and people have been cautioned, like I joined a Facebook group, um, is that uh, starlings are carnivorous. They're not songbirds, and they're not seed eaters. So they're like dogs and cats. Cats and dogs are carnivorous. They eat meat. So it makes plain sense. So what I do, and I've been through a lot of different dog food, cat food, and I've learned a lot about that. But what I give the bird is I give her or him blue buffalo. Um, the bird actually likes this. I tried other ones. The bird wouldn't eat it. One, and I'm not going to go into the names of the brands, but one brand actually made the bird sick, and I thought I was going to lose the bird. So I'm like, okay, I'm throwing this out. So it wouldn't eat. It got sick, and you can tell by the animal's droppings whether the bird is healthy or not. That's a good telltale sign. And the bird was lethargic, and I'm like, okay, I need to change this food. So I went back and I just decided, to get this. This is pricey depending on where you get it. So I get it at PetSmart because it's a lot cheaper there. It's over $2 a can if you go to Target or any of the like Safeway or Giant and all those places. They're very expensive, but the quality of it is really good. And she'll go through this. I can hang on to this for about 3 days, and I'll break it up, pull some out for the day. I don't give it to them cold because it's really hard, and I don't want the animal to choke on it. And what I do is I put some on the end and then put it in the bird's mouth, and the bird eats it. I may do a video on me feeding Frances. If you want to see that, let me know. I'll do that. Raising the bird has sort of given me a, a purpose. Um, I am just fascinated when I see the animal, and like I said, I found it. It was laying on top of a trash can. Um, there's a lot of birds that fall out of the nest, and we had those couple of days some really high winds that came through. Um, we're supposed to get some heavy rain today, so yeah. Anyway, that's on Francis. Now, Francis, during the day, I let the animal fly around. Um, I have a couple places where the animal can perch because I have a cage, but one day I had kept it in the cage. I'd gone out to do something, and when I came back, the beak, because he it keeps it. Okay, let me go back. The bird was injured, and I couldn't figure out how the animal had got injured. So the other day, I had stuck the bird. Yesterday, I had stuck the bird in the cage, and I was doing something because when I cook, the animal follows me around. It literally follows me around. Starlings are communal birds. They travel in flocks. So the bird is like they call it imprinting. If you ever know anything about a little duck, the duck will follow the first thing that it sees and imprint on it. Most most birds, flock animals are like that. Animals that are communal. So this bird has become really attached to me. So it the bird will even it doesn't even have to fly. If it's on the ground or on the floor, and I get up and go somewhere, the bird will actually run after me and follow me. Now the problem I have with that is I got to make sure that I don't step on the thing because I almost did the other day. And it's the funniest thing to watch this animal just like follow me all over the place. And then I realized that when I'm in the kitchen, the birds come. Sometimes the bird will just come flying in. I don't want the bird to land on the stove or land in the oven. So when I'm cooking, I have to put the bird in the cage for its own safety. So when I was doing when I was doing that, I put the bird in there, and the bird kept trying to get out of the cage. I mean, it was frantically trying to get out, and it would stick his face through the, you know, through the wiring, and it messed up the side of its eyes. So I thought, okay, so I took the bird out and cleaned it up and I put some neosporin under its eyes, and the next day it cleared up. Um, so what I'm doing now, and is I am using at night is now what I do is, or if I go out, I use Loomis's old cat carrier, and I notice a lot of people on Facebook use cat carriers for their birds. I put the bird out. I put the bird in the cat carrier at night, so it because it's all one round. There's no sharp edges. Um, the bird won't injure itself. So at night, I do put the bird away at night because I don't want it flying around at night. One day, I did leave it out, and it slept on the perch the whole night. But then in the morning, it was all over the place, and um, I didn't feel like chasing it down. So that's my routine. The bird flies around during the day. If I have to go out, I put the bird in the cat carrier and leave it in my big closet here because it's quiet and nobody will bother it. It'll be calm. Um, but at night, I do put the animal in the carrier, and so it can sleep quietly. Um, a lot of people don't keep their birds in cages. A lot of them let them. They have their own. They have their own separate room where the animal can fly around, or they have a great big fly cage, which I don't have. I've seen them, but they're incredibly expensive. Once in a while, I'll see a big cage at a Goodwill or something. Um, but my problem is getting it. If I was to get it, it would be getting it home. Um, so yeah. But other than that, I mean, the bird is. I mean, it's kind of cool to watch it. The only thing I have an issue with is the pooping part. That is something I have an issue with. It's easy to clean up. Um, I just take I make sure I have some baby wipes laying around in different places, and I just clean up after it, and it's fine. I wear used clothes that I don't care. So, or I have a towel that I've turned into a poncho and I wear that over my shoulders so the bird can ride on me. And I wear a hat because I don't. One thing I've learned about since I've had this bird is I'm not a touchy person. I don't like things. I don't like things touching me or whatever. You know, when the bird, he wants to crawl all over me. He wants to play with my hair. You know, he wants to land me on my head. So what I do is I put the hat on and the bird can sit on my head. And if it dirties the hat, I can just take it and clean the hat off. So what I'm going to do is get a couple more hats so that I can have a different hat to wear. He likes to play with the hat. He likes to play with the little things. I've got some toys for the bird. The bird likes to play with toys. He likes to play with yarn. He likes to play. I shredded up some the paper towels, and he likes to sit and play with that and shake it around and stuff. And I got a couple of places where he can sit and on a like a perch. Yeah, so it's been interesting, eye opener. Like I said, I'd been looking for a cat. I was literally looking for a cat, and instead I found, I found a bird basically. It's kind of nice. The other thing is I'm having a problem with is if I have coffee, Francis will sit on my coffee cup. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. So what I do is, like, if the bird is around me, I'll get an extra cup, put it next to me, and the bird can sit on that cup. And then I can have my own coffee. When I sit and watch TV, especially in the evening and the bird's ready to settle down, the bird will come up, lay on my shoulder or whatever, and fall asleep. They're very affectionate animals, which is kind of weird for a bird, but they are. And if you watch videos there are a lot of videos out there on pet starlings. They're very affectionate, just like parrots and parakeets. They can be really sweet. The bird does get aggravated. The bird has its own little personality. If I get up and move somewhere, or I gotta go to the restroom, the bird will notice I'm gone and it'll be running around looking for me. And the other day I was going to the bathroom and all of a sudden it was like Loomis. I had left the door open a little bit so I can hear it, and all of a sudden I see his little head pop up in the bottom of the door. It's like Loomis. A lot of the animal's behavior is a lot like Loomis. Yeah, so anyway, there was something else I wanted to do, so I was going to combine this with a lot of other things. I was going to do a purse video. I have this Rebecca Minkoff bag, and I love, me, I love handbags. A lot of them at Goodwill and stuff have gotten really expensive. And once in a while, a designer bag will slip through. And like I said, I got this one. I did a haul on it. The reason I'm showing you this bag is because one of my pet peeves with bags is that many of them, and they do this for a reason, have cardboard in them. So what I did with this bag is it had cardboard in it. And what I do is I take the bag. If I can pull out the lining, I'll do that. And then what I do is I take a seam ripper and rip the seam up on the bag, and then what I do is I'll take a seam, rip it open, and then go in the bag, and I will take out the whatever. And I use this. This one here is made out of fabric, and they do this to give the bag some structure. But what happens is, see how this is all wonky and everything? What happens is a lot of cardboard um, and that kind of material, it starts getting wonky, and then what it does, it makes the bag wonky, because the bag was really, it was all really wonky, and I would stuff it. So what I did was I took the inside lining and proceeded to pull that out. And you have to be really careful, because sometimes they're sewn in and you can't do anything about it. Like Michael Kors does that. He sews in the cardboard. But I don't like the cardboard, because sometimes, like, if you live in a place that's really humid, you know, if anything that's paper, it'll start to get like damp and get warped, and it'll ruin it'll mess up the structure of the bag. So I usually will pull those out. Now, they do that with wallets too, but wallets aren't a big deal for me. Like this one has, or they'll use spacing, but you can usually, if you listen carefully, watch. Well, I don't know if you can hear it, but there's some, they do put cardboard in it. I don't mess with the wallets, but the wallets, they usually don't get that bad. So it's usually the bag. Oh, guess who's here? Can you say hi? Say hi. Can you say hi? Say hi. Yeah. Stay away from my coffee. Stay away from my coffee. Here, why don't you get on here? Here, why don't you get on my head? Get on my head. Okay. So, there's Francis. Say hi, Francis. So yeah. Anyway, that's usually what I do. Now, this bag, I did the same thing. It had cardboard on here, and I went inside and took it out, and it's nice and soft. I just don't like the really hardness of the bag. Now this one, I also, actually this one didn't have anything in it, but this is one of my favorite bags. But I love the really nice, soft, pliable leather bags, because when you're going through, like you're going to the mall or whatever, if you do go out, sometimes, you know, you're not able to, sorry, I've been distracted. You're not able to, I lost my train of thought. Sometimes people will run into you. So, okay, he's gone. Where are you going? Where are you going? You're gonna look at my bags? Okay. Just don't poop on them. Okay? Okay, come on. Up here. Up here. Make up your mind. You can't make up his mind. Must be a female. Anyway, sorry. The bird will yell at me too. That's another thing. If I do something or it's unhappy, it'll scream at me. Right? Yeah, yes. Yes. I fed you already, so you can't complain. Anyway, I'm sorry about this. But anyway, I will. I lost my train of thought. If you're at the mall or something, people will run into you, and if you have a hard bag, it will, you know, like hit you in the ribs or whatever. So it's one of the reasons why I like soft leather bags. Someone had asked me, how come I don't like pleather bags? Why does it have to be? Why does it have to be leather? I just like the way leather is. It doesn't fall apart. Like my Kate Spade, the inside lining part, well, it wasn't leather, and it started falling apart. And I wish I'd saved that so I could have showed you. I do have a couple more wallets that I got, and I'll show them on another video. They're really nice. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you have a good one. The bird kind of flustered me here, and I really, really apologize. I want to thank all of you who subscribe and who comment. Please comment below, because I do enjoy reading your comments. It means a lot to me. especially right now. Um, I know I lost some subscribers and I got some really crude comments about the bird. You know, you don't have to subscribe. You don't have to watch my video. If you don't like the bird, keep it to yourself. The bird hasn't done anything to you. Um, it's just a part of my life. You know, like I said, I was looking for a cat. God, in His wisdom and mercy, gave me a bird instead. So, um, another thing about starlings, which I didn't know, and kept in out in the wild, they live for about 4 or 5 years. In captivity, a starling can live for as long, it's noted, as long as 20 years. So they can live as long as a cat. Um, because they're, you know, I mean, it's just a bird. You know, what has a bird done to people that they're going to be leaving me nasty comments? Um, but one thing about a starling, just like any other animal, once you, I don't want to say domesticated it, but if you raised it, you can't really set it back out into the wild, because some people have asked me if I was going to let it go, turn it loose. My son asked me, you know, after you raise it, are you going to let it go? You can't, because it never has learned to be like other starlings and learn how to eat on its own, learn to be afraid of other human beings and predators. So cats and dogs will go after the animal, and they're not going to know, like, oh, I should fly away because so and so is coming after me. Like, I can walk up to Frances and pick her up and she won't think anything of it, you know. But a wild bird, you go out there, you go near them or whatever. Like when I feed my birds outside, I open the door, they all take off, and then I put the food out, and then they come back. They lose that sense of being scared. So, and they make good pets. So, excuse me. Um, so I've been, you know, excuse me. So anyway, this was all a weird video, and um, Francis is attacking my feet right now. Right, I'm telling on you. I'm telling on you. Yeah, I'm telling on you. I am. I'm telling what a bad bird you are. It bit me again. Anyway, you all have a good one. I'll have another video up with some wallets, and I'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye.